going to be making 4 rectangles to start the center of this square. We're going to work using the long tail method. So you want to leave a fairly long length of yarn for your tail. This is sometimes called the double chain method. So we make a slip knot. We want to have the yarn coming from the ball at the back and the long tail at the front. So we're going to take the tail and put it from the front to the back of our hook, and the working yarn from the back to the front of our hook. I snug in that tail a little bit. We're going to pull that working yarn through both loops on the hook. Tail over from the front, working yarn over from the back, and pull it through. The tail and the working yarn, pull it through. So this is sometimes called the double chain method or the long tail method for working our foundation chain. We want to make a total of 46 stitches. So I'll let you continue to work on this foundation chain. We will be able to work easily into these stitches, and it is somewhat stretchy or elastic. So 46, and I'll meet you at that point. When we have the 46 stitches, we want to connect our last stitch that we finished to our first stitch. So being careful not to twist it. Enter through the top loops of that very first chain and pull the loop through and through the loop on our hook to connect. So for round 1, we're going to start with the double crochet. Now and throughout this pattern, you can start with a chain for our starting stitch. So for a double crochet, you could chain 3, or there's a few different techniques for working a starting stitch. I like to pull my loop a little bit longer, yarn over with that loop, go back into the same stitch to pull up a loop, and then yarn over, pull through 2 twice to finish a double crochet. So that's my starting double crochet. You can start with your own version or with a chain 3, whichever you're most comfortable with. And we'll double crochet in the second stitch as well. In the next stitch, we're going to place 4 double crochet. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we'll make a double crochet in each of the next 7 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 6, and 7 double crochet. 4 double crochet in this next stitch. 1, 2, 3, and 4 double crochet. And then double crochet in each of the next 14 stitches. 1, 2, 14 double crochet, 4 double crochet into this next stitch. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Double crochet in each of the next 7. 7 double crochet, four double crochet into that next stitch, and 4 double crochet, and then we'll double crochet in each of the next remaining 12 stitches. So that's 2, 12 double crochet, which should have been the last stitch, and we should have met up to our starting double crochet. So we will close with a slip stitch to this starting double crochet or the top of your chain 3 to end round 1. Round 2, we will begin with a chain 1 and then single crochet in that same stitch. Single crochet in each of the next 2 stitches, 1 and 2. 2 single crochet in the next stitch, and 2 single crochet in the next. Single crochet in each of the next 9. So that's 2, 3, 8 and 9 single crochet. We'll place 2 single crochet in each of the next 2 stitches. So that's 2 in the first and 2 single crochet in the second. And then working down the long side, we will single crochet in each of the 16 stitches. So that's 3, 4, 15 and 16 double crochet. That 16th should be in the first double of the group of 4, and then in both of the second and the third double crochet of that group, we will place 2 single crochet in each of those stitches. And then we're ready to repeat the next short side with single crochet in 9, 2 single crochet in the next 2, and then single crochet in each of the remaining 13 on that next long side, and I'll meet you at that point. So when we have worked all the way around, we will close this round with a slip stitch to our starting single crochet, and then we can fasten off. And you'll want to weave in your ends before we begin the next part. So that's our first rectangle. We're going to make a total of 4 rectangles. So taking your next color, we are going to work with that long tail method again and do that starting single crochet, or that starting chain, the long tail chain, as we did for the first square, and 46 stitches again. So you can go ahead and work those 46 long-tailed chains. Do not close it at the end this time. And I'll meet you there once we have our 46 chains worked with this long tail method. So I have my 46 long tail chain finished. We're going to repeat round 1 how we did in the first rectangle. We're not joining our chain. So we will turn. We'll start with our turning chain 3 or a starting double crochet if you prefer. And then working back down the stitches in our chain, we will place a double crochet in the next, and then 4 double crochet in this next chain. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then you will double crochet in the next 7, another set of 4 double crochet in the next stitch, double crochet in the next 14, 4 double crochet, and so on. So you can work that around as we did round 1 for our first one. We will turn again at the end of round 1 instead of joining. 7 double crochet, group of 4 double crochet in 14, another group of 4 double crochet, 7 double crochet, group of 4, and double crochet in the remaining 12 stitches. Chain 1 and turn. We will single crochet in each of the double crochet. When we get to those, the second and the third double crochet in the corner group of 4, we'll place 2 double crochet in each of those. So I'm almost at my first corner set of 4. Here I've got 2 more. Okay, so I've reached my corner set of 4 double crochet. We'll place 1 single crochet in the first one, 2 single crochet in each of the next 2 double crochets. So 2 in the second and 2 in the third double crochet, and then starting with the last one of the group of 4, we'll single crochet it and in all of the stitches down this next side. And again, when we get to that group of 4, we'll place 2 single crochet in both the second and the third double crochet. Corner with the 2 double crochet in each of the second and third doubles of that group of 4 double crochet, and then place 1 single crochet in each of the 3 remaining stitches. We're going to fasten off and leave a bit longer tail for sewing up the strip. And then comes the fun part. Let's not think of it as complicated. We'll think of it as the fun part. We're going to weave this second rectangle through this first rectangle. So next we're going to join our 2 rectangles together. So the first one we want a little bit on an angle with our joining spot about there. Then taking our second rectangle, this long side we want to make sure it goes over the first rectangle, and then we can put it under the top. Then the second long side we want to bring it over the first rectangle and under on this side. I'm going to fold that first rectangle back. Then with our long tail we'll join to our darning needle and just make a couple of stitches to secure these 2 together and then sew in the ends. So you can go ahead and finish off that rectangle now. So the first 2 rectangles should be intertwined now. The ends are sewn in. Next we're going to make 2 of these a little bit longer and narrower rectangles. So I have my 1 done. To work these, you want to work that long tail chain again, this time with 44 stitches, not the 46. So you can make that the 44 stitches right now. Then for round 1 we'll make our starting double crochet and double crochet in the next stitch, and then we'll work the 4 double crochet in that next one. 1, 2, 3, and 4 double crochet. And then the narrow side we're just going to double crochet in 2, 1 and 2 stitches. Then we'll work another group of 4, and then down the long side we're going to double crochet in 18 stitches. So you can go ahead and work that down that side. So after our group of 4 we worked 18 double crochet down the long side, and then another 4 double crochet in that next stitch. 2 double crochet, 1 in each of the next, 4 double crochet in the next stitch, and then a double crochet in the remaining 16 stitches. Then for round 2, we chain 1 and we work single crochet in each of the double crochet, and when we get to those group of 4, we will make 2 single crochet in each of the second and the third double crochet. So you can go ahead and finish round 2. So we'll have 17 single crochet up this first long side, 2 single crochet on the next and the next, 4 single crochet across the short side, 2 single crochet in each of the next 2, 20 single crochet down the long side, 2 single crochet in each of the next 2, 4 single crochet across the short side, 2 single crochet in each of the next 2, and then ending with 3 single crochet. You can fasten off. So now it's time to weave these longer triangles into our starting set of 2. So keeping this in the same way as we joined, rectangle 1 join there, our rectangle 2 join is there. We're going to keep the short end of this rectangle down here. We want to go over the first rectangle, or sort of over the second rectangle, under the first. And then on the next side here, we'll go over the first and under the next. So I'm just going to pull that partial long tail out, so you can see how we've got it partly woven in. And then taking this long tail, we'll go opposite. We want to go over rectangle 2, under rectangle 1. Then over rectangle 1 and under rectangle 2. And again, I'm just going to fold that rectangle 2 out of the way so you can see where we need to take our yarn and join together this short end. And then we will have woven that one in. So you can go ahead and join up this third rectangle. So one more rectangle to add in. This time we're going to place our rectangle that we're joining in and over, sort of over top of the rectangle 1. So our short end of our last rectangle is up there. We're going to go over 1, under 2, over 3, under 3, over 2, and under 1. And then pulling that partial long side out, ready to come back the other direction. We are going to come over 1 and pulling number 2 up. We're going to feed this under 2, over 3, and then under the second 3, over 2, and then it will go under 1. Again, I'll fold that over and we'll join these 2 ends together, and then we'll smooth out our rectangles. And there we have made our intertwined center part for our square. You may want to shift some of these, tugging gently, pulling places, either to have it lay straight, and some of that will work its way out as we work the edging around the rest of the square. Good job. So we want to mark some of our stitches first. So we find our short end corner, and then the next rectangle, we see those 4 double crochet worked into the corner, and we worked a total of 6 single crochet in those stitches. We want to find the 3rd single crochet. Then the same on this next rectangle, you find those 4 corner stitches and that 3rd single crochet. Then we find that 3rd single crochet worked in this next corner. We'll work 2 singles, and then we want to skip 6. So we'll mark this first one. There'll be 7 that we skip with our markers. to mark the next one to start the next side. So always looking for that third single crochet worked in those corner stitches of each of the rectangles. So starting with this first marked stitch, single crochet in it and the next stitch, chain 3, single crochet in the next marked stitch and the next stitch, chain 3, single crochet in the next marked stitch and the next stitch, and this time we will chain 7. And then in the next marked stitch we will place a single crochet and in the next stitch. Then ready to start again with that chain 3 and finding that third single crochet on the next rectangle and the next stitch, and so on. So if you wish to mark those stitches all the way around, you may do so. After doing one or two sides, you might be able to find it. Without marking, that's up to you. So I'll let you work those and I'll meet you back here close to the end of this round. So once we've worked our way around, we will join with a slip stitch to our starting single crochet to end this round. Round 4, we're going to double crochet in each stitch. So the first stitch and the second, and then in the chain 3 space, that counts for 3 stitches. So we'll place 3 double crochet in that space, double crochet in each of the single crochet, 3 double crochet in those chain 3 spaces, double crochet in the single crochet, which should take us to that chain 7 corner space, and we want to make 9 double crochet in that chain 7 space. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. This 5th double crochet we can mark, as that will be our center stitch for the next corner. And then working on the next side, we'll place 4 more double crochet in that same space. 2, 3, and 4. Then continuing down the side with a double crochet in each stitch, 3 double crochet in those chain 3 spaces. So once you've worked your way around, after those final 3 double crochet in the chain 3 space, we'll join to the top of our starting chain 3 to end this round. You may wish to just sort of tug at those corner stitches a bit to square it up. Round 5, we will slip stitch into the next stitch, and I'm going to be changing colors as I do that. That's up to you, your color placement on this section. We want to make a double crochet in the stitch, so you can chain 3 if you prefer, or if you know a starting double crochet, which I am doing, you can work your version of a starting double crochet if you prefer. Chain 1, we'll skip the next stitch and double crochet in the next, and we will do that 7 times. Chain 1, skip the next, double crochet, chain 1, skip the next, double crochet. So we've done 3 repeats. You can do a total of 7, and I'll meet you at that point. So those 7 repeats should take you to the stitch just before our marked corner stitch. So in that marked stitch, we will chain 1, double crochet 3 times. So it's once, twice, 3 times, and make 1 more chain 1. And in this middle stitch, we will mark that as our new corner stitch. We'll double crochet in the next stitch. And then we'll continue down this side with the chain 1, skip 1, double crochet, a total of 12 times. Chain 1, skip 1, double crochet. So that's the 12 repeats down the side, ready to work those corner stitches again, and then complete the remaining sides, joining to our starting stitch. So on your final side there, after our corner, we will do the chain 1, skip 1, double crochet 4 times, chain 1, join to our starting stitch. Round 6, we will double crochet in each double crochet and in each chain. So again, you can start with a chain 3 or a starting double crochet and double crochet in the chain space. Double crochet in the stitch, double crochet in this space, and so on down the side, and I'll meet you at our first corner. So when you've worked a double crochet in each stitch and space, we get to our marked corner stitch. In the corner stitch, we're going to place a double crochet, chain 2, and double crochet in that same stitch to form our new corner. And then continue down the next side with a double crochet in the chain space, double crochet in the stitch. And you'll just continue that all the way around, joining to our starting stitch at the end of this round. Now we're going to make a round of surface crochet. We do not want to fasten off our color from round 6 though. So you can just leave that in the back. So for our surface slip stitches, we want to be careful not to crochet too tightly. If you wish, you may want to go up a hook size so that your work isn't pulling. Now what I like to do is start in the corner, and I insert my hook first and then pick up my loop, either with a slip knot or without, whichever you prefer. And then we're just going to insert our hook around the next stitch, keep our working yarn on the back, pull the loop up and through the loop on our hook. Down between the stitches, pull a loop up and through the loop on our hook. So from the back, when I put my hook, I can grab the loop there, pull it up and through the loop. So you want to try and keep them consistent size as you work, so it's not too loose, but like I said, we don't want these slip stitches pulling. So you'll just continue to work all the way around. There's no chain spaces in the corner or anything, just around each of those double crochet, and I will meet you just before we end this round. Now to finish off the round, what I like to do is remove my hook from the loop, insert from the back, and I go through the first slip stitch, put the loop back on my hook and pull it through, and then I fasten off on the back. And you can tighten up the loop a little bit in size, like so. So coming back to where we dropped our yarn at the end of round 6, we're going to start round 7 with a starting double crochet or a chain 3 if you prefer, in that same stitch where we joined. Chain 1, skip the next stitch, double crochet, and we'll do that 9 times. Chain 1, skip a stitch, double crochet. Those 9 repeats should take you just before that chain 2 corner space. And in that space we will chain 1, double crochet 3 times. And chain 1 after that 3rd double crochet, marking the center double crochet for our new corner stitch. Then down the side we will double crochet in that first stitch, and then we will do the chain 1, skip 1, double crochet in the next 16 times. Chain 1, skip 1, double crochet in the next stitch. And then you'll work another corner as I showed you here. So 16 repeats down each of the sides. So finishing up the final side after the corner, double crochet in the first stitch, chain 1, skip 1, double crochet 6 times, chain 1, and then joining to our starting stitch. With a slip stitch. There should be 20 chain spaces between our corner stitches. Now we're going to be making a cord that we're going to weave in and out of all these chain 1 spaces on both rows or both rounds. So we're going to use that long tail method. If you wish, you can use 2 balls of yarn and then your beginning slip knot just has both loops on, or you can do the long tail. So just as we worked these rectangles in the center, we are going to work that cord, yarning over from both the tail and the working yarn. And we want to have this cord about 80 centimeters long. So you are going to keep working this method. So it's a very long tail you need to get the 80 centimeters. You're just going to keep working that until your piece measures 80 centimeters. Do not fasten off, and I'll join you at that point. So once you think you have your cord about long enough to go around, we're going to start from the back side of our work and just start threading this cord, weaving it in and out of all the chain 1 spaces. Okay, remember we do not cut our work just in case we need to add more stitches before we fasten off. So you'll just weave it in and out of a few spaces and gradually pulling it along as you work. So you can go ahead and do that part now. So as you're working, you do want to pull the cord through, making sure it's not pulling your work, just nice and snug around there. Just looking at the back here, so I have my first to end there, and I'm going to just pull out my stitches, pulling from both ends. And we'll just close the cord with a slip stitch back into the first chain that we did. And fasten off. And then you can just stretch the cord out so it lays nice and flat inside of there. And we'll sew in the ends. So that's our first cord. We want to do the similar, make a second cord to weave in and around these chain 1 spaces from round 7. So you can go ahead and work that one in the same manner now. So if you wish, you can put a stitch marker at the end of the cord and use that to help weave in and out of these spaces. So you can do a few at a time, in and out. And pull it along and so forth. Some of you may wish to make sure that the cord doesn't twist and it's always laying in the same direction. That's certainly your choice and option. Round 8, we are going to come back to our color where we left our yarn hanging before we made these cords, and start with a starting double crochet or a chain 3 if you prefer in this first, I'll try that once more. In this first stitch, we'll make a starting double crochet or a chain 3 if you prefer. We'll place a double crochet in each chain space and each stitch down the side. So you could go ahead and work that right now, and I will join you at the corner. When we reached this marked stitch for our corner stitches, we will place a double crochet in that stitch, chain 2, and double crochet in that same stitch for our new corner, and then ready to work down the side with double crochet in the space, double crochet in the stitch. So we'll work that all the way around, joining to our starting stitch at the end of the round. There should be a total of 164 double crochet. That's 41 double crochet on each side. Round 9, our last round for this square. You need to measure your square at this point, see how it compares to your other squares, and then decide whether you will use single crochet, half double crochet, or double crochet for this round. I'm going to use single crochet. So chain 1, single crochet, or half double or double crochet, whichever stitch height you have chosen. So you will place that stitch in each of the stitches down the side. My yarn likes to split. There we go. And then when you get to the corners, you will work 2 single crochet, chain 1, 2 single crochet, or 2 stitches, chain 1, 2 stitches in the corner spaces. So you can go ahead and work that all the way around, joining to your starting stitch to fasten off and end this square.